Episode 2, before the first day of school, and it's not what you expect. If you want to go ahead and start episode 2, go ahead to this timestamp here. Welcome, EdFamily, a channel dedicated to helping our students find out what they're good at so that they can do good with it. My name is Dr. Jeff, National Board Certified Teacher. I teach in a middle and high school district, serve as an instructional coach, and also work with supporting pre-service and in-service teachers at the university. I hope you had the chance to check out episode 1 to think about your why. You're an administrator. Why administration? And then there's other roles like department chair and civic lead and program coordinator. Whatever your why is, let that empower you. And there's so many roles that are out there. It takes a team to make that dream happen. Now, speaking of multiple stakeholders, oftentimes not recognized, so I'm going to give a big shout out to the army of individuals who help our students have that successful first day before that first day ever begins. And I can tell you who they are. They're custodians right now beautifying the campus. There are staff that are registering parents and students. There's technology that's being refreshed and updated. Basically an army of folks who are hard at work right now so that that day one can happen. So if you see them on campus, be sure to say hi, encourage them, thank them for their service. If you're feeling generous, buy them a cup of coffee or boba or something like that. So now we move on to episode 2, before our first day of school. It's not what you expect. So what is one thing I can do before the start of the new school year? Educators pivoted during the pandemic of 2020. It was a tremendous, tremendous shift that was made and placed a heavy burden on teachers to make this change happen. And although you don't hear about this regularly anywhere or in the media, they did an amazing work with what they had, but it took a cost, it took a toll. And I think many educators left last year feeling pretty exhausted because they had given so much of their mind, so much of their heart. Nevertheless, many educators I know strive to be positive and do the best they can with what they got. During the pandemic, a teacher shared with me, I don't want to just go through this pandemic, but grow through it. I'm going to say that again. I don't want to just go through this, but grow through it. I love it. And it became a rallying cry during the pandemic of 2020 for me. So let me tell you one way I processed my experience the previous year. And I gave students a PBL project-based learning called My Story of Resilience, where students would create a digital journal on various questions to help them process this difficult experience. I'm not going to go into detail, but our youth went through a lot this previous year, and some more than others. But I do know this, the way we handle pain, whether it be a relational pain, financial pain, physical pain, it's important. It makes people bitter, or it can make others better. I wanted my students to process their experience well and maybe become better over bitter as they created their story of resilience. Here are some questions that I asked. I mentioned this student assignment because I think it would not only just be good for students, but really could benefit anyone. In fact, my student teacher at the time said to me, you know what? We should do this PBL with them. Sometimes as adults or educators, we don't take the time to process. Have you ever felt really frustrated or irritated, burnt out? I know I have. And I know for me, when I feel that, it's a big time indicator that I need some self-care, and perhaps that's a topic for another episode. But journaling with the students was not only therapeutic for me, and it actually helped me process, but by modeling for the students how I was feeling, maybe that's what they needed from me to have permission to share their thoughts and process their difficult feelings as well. Let's just call this socio-emotional leading and maybe socio-emotional learning. I told students, I hope you never have to go through another valley in your life, but the reality is you may, and I'm really sorry about that. It may be a relational valley, financial valley, a health valley, work valley, but to remember that during this valley, this great valley, the pandemic of 2020, when there was so much uncertainty, They didn't just go through it, but they grew through it. And now they had a story of resilience, of how they didn't give up, but pressed on. I hope everyone's getting much needed rest, reconnecting with people that you love, having fun, even Netflix binging a couple of shows. But I hope everyone had the chance to process well. It's what we need before day one, and also what our kids need too. But if we are to lead, I think it's difficult to take our students further than we have gone ourselves. Helping students find their story of resilience is, I think, a step in helping kids find out what they are good at so that they can do good with it, especially in a rapidly changing and uncertain world. This is Dr. Jeff at EdFamily, helping students to find out what they're good at so that they can do good with it. With you all, signing out.